Cool.
Now you're comfortable.
Okay, guys, we're gonna get back to the lesson. So does anyone want to volunteer to share one of what they were discussing with their partners? Please.
We're talking about how people always ask us, like, how do you wrap that with your head? So, like, it's not that hard, but, like, I'll have to show them how I do it. Yeah, they're learning that.
So,
They're learning how to do it.
yeah, so then they could understand exactly how you
Like,
get
I
it
could just be
done.
like, oh,
Because-
I throw it over my shoulder, like, which way? Like, I have to, show.
Awesome. Yeah, great example. Thank you for sharing. All right, so just time-wise, we're just gonna go into the next slide. Got a little clip for you guys to watch.
Oh, yes.
Show you the money. Show me the money. Show me the money.
All right, y'all. So just a little preface on why that clip's there. So Cuba Gooding Jr. has Jerry Maguire as his agent, but he's not really happy with him as his agent, and he wants to, in order to keep Cuba Gooding Jr. as his client, Jerry Maguire has to show him the money that he is making. He can't just say, yeah, I got money in my pocket. You'll get that at some point later, and keep him on as his client, right? So let's think of this from the perspective of a writer or a reader. So as someone reading something, or as someone writing something, a story, what do you want your desired outcome to be, would you say? Like, from the writer's perspective.
Doesn't that change all the time, like when you're trying to communicate something?
It definitely does, but just like a general outcome. You kind of just want them to read it, right? And be interested in it, right? Would you all agree with that? Thumbs up if you do. Cool. So, from the writer's perspective, you want to show me the story. All right? Can you guys repeat that? What do you want?
Show me the story.
Oh, I think you guys could do a little bit better than that. Let me hear it. Come on.
Show me the story.
All right, there you go. Let's go into the next slide. Let's actually get into this. So telling, is everyone familiar with what telling language kind of is? It's kind of just like blah, boring language. But we'll go into it a little bit more in depth, just so we can outline it real quick. So when you tell rather than show, you're pretty much just informing your reader of information rather than letting them deduce anything. Again, you're just stating that information. You're not painting vivid images in the reader's mind. And if you are using telling language, you might just write that a character is tall or angry instead of saying the boy threw the chair across the room in anger. I don't know. That's a little bit more showing than it is by just saying the boy was angry, right? Cool. So now when you're reading, this is just some general ways of identifying when you're reading some telling language. All right? If you're reading something and it's simply just stating what's happening, or you don't feel connected with it, You don't really have any emotions coming up with it, and it's just like boring. You want to close it. That's a good way of distinguishing that this is some telling language. Now showing. Showing's a little bit different. Okay, when you show, you paint a picture to the reader. You paint a picture the reader can see in their mind's eye. You make the reader part of the experience. Also, I just want to make sure that everyone is filling in their worksheets with the notes that we have presented. So I'm just going to walk around the room as I go over this. All right? It's all right. You can cover it up. So instead of having everything imparted on them, the reader can see everything and come to conclusions on their own. If your character is tall, your reader can deduce that because what? You guys have a blank. You don't have to use my example. Anyone else got an example they could come up with? Please, Paul.
He ducked to go under the door.
Perfect. There we go. Great example. And why does him ducking show that he's tall?
Because everyone knows how high a door is, so they have to duck to do it.
Beautiful. So thank you for sharing. Yeah. So exactly what Paul said. Because the image is painted in your mind of what a door looks like and how tall someone has to be to just walk right into, like me. I fit through anything. I won't have to duck. Okay, so showing language, this is kind of just a brief overview of what showing language is, all right? I feel like I'm talking a lot. Does anyone want to read from the slide for me? Oh, thank you.
Showing. Components of showing language. Makes use of sensory details. Provides imagery that allows the reader to feel present in the moment. Evokes emotional responses from the reader. Interesting to read.
Beautiful, thank you, Paul. So, sorry, you're good. Is there anything about showing language that anyone is unfamiliar with at the moment that I could clarify a little bit more? No? Cool, all right, thumbs up. Oh, please.
Yeah. When you say interesting to read, how is showing more interesting to tell?
So I'd say showing is more interesting because the reader, they literally see the movie or the book playing in their mind as they're reading it, rather than just seeing the words on the page. And that's going to help you help you become more engaged with the reading and enjoy what you're reading. So, yeah, I think that's one of the biggest components about showing, actually. Thank you. Does that clarify things?
Yes.
Cool. All right.